Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mad liberTEA Party, where up is down, left is right. The rules don't matter because we're all fucking mad here. And I mean all sorts of mad here. We're like a whole pile of March hares in the middle of July. Not even fucking kidding. Anyways, though, today we got something a little bit man, this shit always makes me angry. I'm not gonna even lie. Um the story with the whole Keith shit and everything, it gets me crazy. And I know you guys, it drives me crazy. I don't know about gets me crazy. I'm already kind of here. Um, Hold on a second. Running a little bit behind today. Not gonna lie, it's been a little bit of a fucking morning. Cats, baby cats, they get into every goddamn thing. And I've spent half the morning cleaning up. But, and speaking of cleaning up, that's what the government does pretty much every chance they fucking get, especially at our expense. And that's kind of what this story is about today. So settle down, settle in, get a coffee, get a nice warm milk or whatever the heck will help you get through this with me. And all right. So I'm gonna give a little bit of background to begin with because like we haven't actually really talked much about this, but like when when this first came around, morning, but when when this thing first came around, I couldn't figure out why we were being, handed a story like this. Because I mean, I'd had some interesting stories in the past, but they were more localized, and this shit's big, like intimidatingly big. Uh, and after Pink handed me the story, he gave me a little while to kind of like digest it and what they had handed me, which was a nice stack. Um, I was like, he was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Ah, we're gonna end up in a fucking ditch if we do this." And he was like, "So?" And I was like, "Let's fucking do it," because I mean, like nobody else was doing it, and that was why we were being handed it because we were willing to cover the story at this point. We had mainstream media, they had covered something about it. They'd covered like the super statist end of it. And I'll get into that in just a minute because that's part of the story. But I then spent, oh, I don't know, like maybe half a month digging through all of the evidence that they had provided me to begin with. And we talked to Keith a few times leading up to the interview because we wanted to know, like we wanted to know a little bit about what was going on before we talked about this stuff because I'm like, this is some shit that you seriously look into before you start going, this is this and that is that. Um, and you know, he never struck me as being weird or off or anything like that. It's I don't think he's crazy at all. I think that he's a dude getting fucked by the government. But anyways, we had the interview, and the interview itself, mostly we knew what was going to be asked then, and we kind of knew the answers to it already. We did learn a few things that we didn't already know previously during the interview, but it took me like a month to go back through the whole interview and corroborate everything he said. And anything that was even slightly off that I could find, we made notations of in the interview. Like, pops up and like me and Paxton's screen will darken and information will just scroll across it and be like, here's a little bit of facts about this. And at no point did he lie, mind you. He's just not a scientist. So like, we put more detail into it so that people could, or he would say something that was confusing to like normies or even us, so we like would take a moment to explain what that meant or whatever. Either way, it took like getting this freaking interview on out was probably a 2 or 3 month ordeal. And and I wrote the press release and we pushed it all over the place as best as we could. We did get coverage. We got some people to pick it up. He got some more interviews. um I now have my hands on one of the old interviews that happened prior to him being arrested, but and I'm going to make sure that that gets up because I really want people to know more of the industry side of this stuff too, because he went into a lot of detail there. But they never aired that interview, and I don't give a crap if somebody gets pissed off. I'm putting that on the internet. It may not be my interview, and I will make sure everybody knows that, but it needs to be fucking seen. Um, so the whole story is basically you get this guy from fucking California, and he's been in the cannabis industry for a while, and he knows a lot of people. He knows a lot of stuff, um, and he's got some really big ideas about him because he had some like I believe it was like either a friend or he got close to somebody who was dealing with cancer, and it really drove him to want to help people with their needs, their medicinal needs and stuff like that. So, and he didn't like the way everybody was overpricing hemp extracts and stuff like that. He wanted people to be able to get what they needed. So when he was offered the chance to come out to Kentucky and help them build up the hemp industry in a way that had never been done before, he um, he jumped at it. He reached out, grabbed the Chinese the Chinese guy's hand and tried to bring them here, and it worked. I mean, like he went over there, they had a great time. He ended up getting to shoot some cool guns. Like there's a lot of freaking coverage and of him out there like enjoying himself and stuff like that with them. Everything seemed fine. Everybody was whining and dining. Everybody was fucking happy. There was going to be one of the largest hemp like in like hemp or operations going on that had ever been fucking done at this point, at least in America. And everything was going fine until it was time to bring out the first actual real um real harvest. Sorry, my brain is starting to slow down again. Till it was time to bring out the first harvest. And then a huge, I mean like thousands of pounds of hemp disappeared on him. And he tried to go to people to tell them that he didn't know what had happened and that this was totally not okay and they needed to look into it and figure out what had happened, and he was blown off. um, I suppose that the evidence is semi-circumstantial, but I've seen some of the emails and stuff like that, and it looks like they tried to bribe him into not doing anything. um, and that's my personal opinion on after looking all this stuff over. And of course, they're trying to say that didn't happen, and they're going to. The dude had a couple of attempts on his life while he was trying to get this stuff ready, get this stuff out. And he had gone to the Kentucky FBI several times, and they gave him the runaround. So he went back home to California, and he called the actual FBI. And I mean, like within an hour or two of that, there were dudes busting in fucking helicopters, armored vehicles, fucking Rambo, ATF bullshit all over the fucking place. For a guy who was now being called a fugitive from the law, and he was just sitting on his own porch smoking a joint, basically. And I mean, that's what they'll do. They'll twist it around and say whatever the fuck they want, basically. Um, they claimed the media claimed that he had threatened some of the guys in Kentucky. And what happened was he was saying that they were going to get there. You know, like he was going to get them. He was going to bring it down. He was going to expose it and shit. But poor choice of words when he was angry made it fucking twistable. Like, even if you go look at the articles about Keith Taylor and stuff like that, they quote what he said. And if you know the whole story, you're like, yeah, that's fucking shaky. Either way, they made him sit in fucking jail, never fucking really tried him or anything, would not give him bail, and kept him there during the extradition process. By now, they have already tried to kill him a couple of times, and he was like, I'm not going back to Kentucky. I'm afraid if I go back there, they're going to fucking kill me. And so he fought that, and sadly, he lost, and they were worried about what was going to happen next, but nobody came to get him. They went through all of that, and then they let him ride it out for 90 days. And see, during this 90 days, they moved in on his company and put a custodian in charge. And they basically have control of his company at this point. Um, not all of his companies, but the hemp one. And it's just, and he's been fighting ever since. Like he went on a long battle to try and keep them from destroying the evidence of what they found in Oklahoma during like because this hemp started showing back up again. It was in bales at the front of trucks with actual marijuana behind it, and they ended up being able to test it, and it tested like it's his hemp. And the courts tried the people the government tried to appeal to the courts and have it have the evidence destroyed. They had to fight for that to keep it from being destroyed long enough to be able to get the testing done, and they did get the testing done, but they did eventually lose, and the evidence has been destroyed. The good news is if it comes up to it, they have the evidence that they need to prove not only that that was him, but that they try to destroy the evidence too. At this point, I have no fucking faith in the judicial system, and I really don't fucking think that he's going to get the justice that he seeks. But I would really like to see, I would like to see it. I don't know what's going to happen at this point, though. I'm afraid they're going to fucking kill him. They tried to, not long ago, like maybe a couple of months ago at the most, they tried to fucking run his ass over, and well, somebody did in a mysteriously governmental style fucking car and all this other shit. He got part of it on video and showed it. It's just stuff's getting crazy. So he's basically gone on the limb like McAfee. I mean, kind of. I don't really want to say any too much because I don't really know where he's at, and that's best. It's best we none of us know where he's at this point. And all I can say is that I hope he stays safe. I have the interview that we did with him is like linked below, and we have a playlist of stuff. I really, really, really encourage you guys to check out this stuff, find out the truth, and share it because like that's basically all we can do is get this story out there. And when we first started this, we didn't really have as much of a spread as we used to. I mean, as we do now. And so I'm hoping that you guys might be able to help us spread this information. If you have a show of your own and you want to talk to him or Mr. Pink, we'll see what we can do. Reach out to us. We'll try to connect you guys. If you know somebody who would be interested in this kind of thing, have them reach out to me and I'll see what I can do for them. Um, if you yourself want to fucking help him, there's GoFundMe's down in the interview link. There's and definitely, I mean, obviously, share the shit out of this stuff. Okay, um, I just this kind of stuff is exactly why I lost faith in the system, and it's just, I mean, it's not the reason. I had already begun to lose faith in the system by the time we met Keith, but the kind of shit that they did changed him. Like I showed this the other day, but like I'm gonna pull this up here. You guys see, like this is not years of difference. This is like right before he got arrested, and then like the year after he got arrested, after he's been through all this bullshit. They have fucking like literally changed him physically at this point. And I just man, watching his old interview prior to going to jail and watching and being able to talk to him and knowing him and everything, it's it's fucking almost debilitating. Like I know that I'm very empathic and that I feel for everybody and their dog, but like holy shit, y'all, they fucking wrecked him and they'll do this to anybody if we let them. We have got to get this story out. We have got to make it a nuisance for them. And I mean, this shit goes all the way up to fucking Mitch the Turtle McConnell. Like, nobody would help him, and everybody was involved. As far as I'm concerned, they fucking stole from him, and then fucking tried to ruin him when he went looking for fucking justice and information and the truth, which is exactly what they fucking do. It is exactly what they fucking do. I don't want to go on too long because I know that this is an information overload in its regular format. Like the updates and everything are a little bit confusing, especially if you're just coming in. Now that I kind of gave you the breakdown of the story, I hope that you guys will go check out the updates and everything like that. We're making slight progress here and there, every little bit. It's a very long game. It's a very slow, long game. Um, so, I mean, like, if you guys have any advice, if you guys think this is dumb, if you guys are angry about this shit, if you guys have a similar experience of any sort, please get down in the comments and share it. Um, all of that helps, and we definitely do read it. Or get into our social media and hit us up if you guys want to help us to be able to do more coverage of these things or to be able to put ads on them or whatever. Hit us up in our subscribe star with your filthy white market cash. We were incredibly, incredibly thankful to those of you who have already helped us and are helping us. We have, as I've said many times before, we're already covering our bills and everything like that. Every little bit of what we get goes back into the community, into the freaking show, into the journalism, into everything that we do here and everything that we could do. The more support we have, the more we can do. If you're actually curious about some of the stuff that we put the money into and everything in the past, go ahead and hit me up and I'll talk to you about it. But a lot of it's like more person oriented and stuff like that. So I don't want to like give a long ass fucking list of everything that we fucking put money into or anything. But like I'll legitimize it. If you don't fucking use filthy white market cash, get down into our coin tree, toss us some fucking crypto. We'll take that shit and make something good happen out of it. Aside from that, we have not got any actual episodes planned during the evening this week because we're trying to do some catch up. I'm trying to organize a call session where we all sit down and bug the media and stuff like that about why they're not talking about this shit. If you're interested in getting involved in that, hit me up because we could use all hands on deck. Aside from that, if anything comes up during the week, we're definitely going to cover it. It's just we didn't intentionally plan anything for the evenings. Tomorrow I'll be doing the morning show. Sorry I didn't do it yesterday. I woke up pretty sick and it was pretty late in the day, and I know I said I was going to do it later, but it was pretty late in the day by the time I actually was capable. So I was like, let's just wait until the morning. We've got so much stuff to do. So that's what we did. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And until then, please don't ever sacrifice your fucking safety. I mean, don't fucking sacrifice your fucking freedom for your safety. It's an illusion. It's not fucking real. We are not safe and we never fucking will be. That's not what life's about. Life's about fucking living. So live it and be free, you guys. I'll see you guys next time. This episode of the Mad Coffee Breaks is fucking adjourned. Y'all be careful out there. Don't fall into any wooden hookers.